Overnight, an about-face from the Minnesota Vikings, placing embattled star Adrian Peterson on the NFL's exempt list, requiring him to stay away from all team activities until his legal proceedings are resolved. The reversal just one day after the team announced it would reinstate the former MVP, who is facing a child abuse charge for allegedly hitting his 4-year-old son with a tree branch. In a statement, the Vikings owners writing, "After further reflection, we have concluded that this resolution is best for the Vikings and for Adrian."
The National Football League always prided themselves on being out in front of issues. They've always talked about how good their players do and how they are socially relevant, always thinking of the fan ahead of the game. But what we have seen in recent weeks tells a very different story. And one of the all-time greats of the game who wore Vikings purple is fed up with his former team and what the league has allowed to happen. Welcome to MidPoint. Anybody who knows a game of football understands the need for little introduction. Hall of Famer, one of the very best there is at what he did for so many years, Fran Tarkenton. Fran, thanks so much for being here.
Good to be with you.
Fran, I want you to hear the statement. This was a soundbite we just got in a little while ago. Vikings owner Zygi Wolf, he addressed the media, and here he indeed says the Vikings made a mistake by reinstating Peterson. Here it is.
And to be clear, we have a strong stance regarding the protection and welfare of children, and we want to be sure we get this right. Adrian will be away from the team and focus on his personal situation. We will support Adrian during this legal and personal process, but we firmly believe this is the right decision.
And yesterday morning, you sent out a tweet saying the Vikings got it right last week, but they got it wrong this week. Hashtag Adrian Peterson should not be playing yet. Fran, seriously, this is a backup by Zygi, by the NFL, but the Vikings. You've got to be angry that, first off, right from the very first get, you don't understand exactly what you've got in your hands at this point, and you've got to make the right move. It was simply foolish not to make this move right out the box.
But the important thing, they admitted today in that press conference, which I watched, they were wrong. They made a mistake, and they did the right thing here. We're in a situation when the transparency of the NFL is now being transparent to a point. They have not been for the 55 years that I've been involved with the NFL. We don't see transparency in Washington, D.C. It's a giant cover-up, and that's the way it's been in industry and business and the NFL. And if we're not able to, in this country, protect 4-year-old children from being abused, if we cannot protect our women in this country from something that's been going on for decades, domestic violence, and we have to wait to see a 225-pound running back knock out his wife with a punch, and they couldn't cover that up. There's so much else that needs to be exposed, and I am confident that the Roger Goodells of the world and the Zygi Wilfs and his brother Mark will now say, we've got to stop the cover-up. We've got to go and protect these people. We've got to set a standard. And I hope that this will be the start of that. There's so much more that's been covered up in the NFL. The abuse of pain pills that's been going on since my generation. The performance-enhancing drugs, which enables these people to put on 40 and 50 and 60 pounds. This is not natural stuff you're seeing when you see ripped arms and ripped thighs and ripped pecs that make them bigger. That's a total cover-up. I am hoping, against hope, that in this great sport of ours, that we're going to see leadership from Roger Goodell and the owners to go out and be transparent. And let's address these horrible issues. And you might remember, in 2000, up until 2009, they were in denial. They put out their doctors to say, concussions do not lead to mental problems and Lou Gehrig's disease and Alzheimer's and dementia. And then they were refuted because doctors in other places in the country, Pittsburgh and up in Harvard, started studying the brains of deceased football players and said there's a direct correlation between concussions on the football field and the brain damage that it does, and they're now paying an $800 million fine. They now came out with a report that 28% of NFL football players, 28%, more than 1 in 4, will suffer from some sort of brain illness because they played professional football. That's a terrible thing, but at least we're addressing it now. And the more pressure that you, the press, put on, the more pressure that the fans put on, if we cannot protect our children from abuse and being battered and beaten, if we cannot protect our women from being battered and beaten, then we're ISIS. Are we not?
Fran, I covered the NFL for a lot of years. You used the phrase cover-up. I also have used this. Is it not fair to say, and we've got to, if we're going to be bluntly honest here, that for decades it has not only been the league, it has been executives, it has been players, it has been the press, it has been sponsors, it has been everybody who has been complicit in this cover-up, because there's not a player that I know who didn't know what went on in the locker room with their guys outside of the locker room. They didn't know about the drugs they took, the women they ran with, the women they cheated on their wives with. They also knew exactly what was happening with a lot of the off-color issues that went on as well. We've known, and the press knew about this. Many of the people who cover it, they have known about it for decades, and they don't report on it because they've got to have that press pass in their hands. It puts money in their pocket. They lose their job. So if we're going to come right out and be honest about it, this is a cover-up that has been going on for well over 50 years, and nobody has wanted to stop it because it's all about making a buck, right?
Well, to your point, do you think when O.J. Simpson brutally murdered his wife that he wasn't a domestic violence guy? Sure he was. He had beaten her time and time again before that, but we ignored it. It wasn't part of our DNA. And hopefully this will open up Pandora's box.
But it is a cover-up.
And make this game even better than it is.
It is a cover-up, though. You agree with that. You've said it. You've right out there.
It's a total cover-up. And drugs have been, the cover-up's been since I played. Drugs were in our locker room in the early 60s. Pain pills were in our locker rooms throughout. The performance-enhancing drugs started in probably the mid-70s. All a cover-up, 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 and it's still a cover-up. And this needs to be exposed. I have written 4 or 5 op-eds in the Wall Street Journal and other publications about the drug abuse. I've been on CNN. I've been on television shows, radio shows, and talking about the cover-up of performance-enhancing drugs and the abuse of pain pills. You know how many people picked up on it? Nobody did. Now they're picking up on it.
I got about 2 minutes left here. It must strike you as being very poignant that this whole thing started only because a video got out there, number one, and number two, with the Vikings, Anheuser-Busch, the official beer company of the NFL, issued a statement on the league incidents, and there were a number of other major sponsors that came out and said they were dismayed as what happened to Peterson and with Rice. You and I both know that as soon as the NFL and the people there saw their money possibly disappearing, they said, we better do something to protect our jobs. It was all about the cash.
Yep. And also, I came out yesterday and said I was embarrassed by this, the behavior of the owners of the Vikings. The governor of Minnesota, the senator of Minnesota came out and said the same thing. The fans have got to speak out. This is a great game, but we don't need people that are abusing children and abusing women in the game.
So what do they do, Fran? I got about a minute left. What do the fans do then?
They send emails. They send letters. They call up the people. They make their voices heard. We love the game. We love the sport, but we don't like what's happening. We want it cleaned up. It needs to be cleaned up, and we need to go all the way from protecting children and women to cleaning up the drug usage, because that's making people bigger, stronger, faster, causing more concussions, more violence. That's got to change.
Do you think it will, though? Honestly, will it really change, or are we paying lip service?
I think we have a chance. I've communicated with Roger Goodell. I've communicated with the Will family. I've applauded them for what they did. I think if we put the pressure on, and we continue to put the pressure on, I think that we have a chance to make this a whole lot better.
I want to point out, too, that Fran Tarkenton is somebody who speaks out on this on a regular basis. I've read your stuff, Fran. I constantly do, and I look for it, and it's very well done. I also want to point out that Fran was nice enough to appear with us today. Also want to mention you're doing very well in business. GoSmallBiz.com you're working on right now, correct?
Well, we have a website for entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur, a small business person, and it's a great information website, GoSmallBiz.com. I'd invite your people to go take a look at it. It'll help you grow your business.
We'll take a look at it, and also, Fran, we'll stay in touch. I applaud you for speaking out, my friend. I hope we talk again soon.
We will. Thanks.
Thank you. Later on this hour, the hunt for a killer takes on new urgency in the American Northeast. And after the break, have you checked what exactly is in your coffee lately? That and a whole lot more coming up on MidPoint, where we question everything.